Good morning. Oh, I hope you're doing okay. And welcome to this channel, Gray Cloudy Day. I'm having a decent morning. I'm Gray Cloud, sage of the eternal moment. That moment right there. And then that moment. It'd do some good if you could to the channel's algorithm, the way that it pushes it out to people. If you hit the like button and maybe subscribe, I'd appreciate it. We all would, because it helps the community as well. The more people, here, watching, maybe interacting, there's a good number of people that interact and are part of the community and have been for a while. And I appreciate each and every one of you. The Fifth Agreement by Don Miguel Ruiz, also by Don Jose Ruiz, somehow or another. It's a Toltec wisdom book. Okay. Now we can easily understand why there is a conflict in the human mind, and only in the human mind, the virtual reality. Because it doesn't exist in the rest of nature. There are billions of humans who distort all those symbols in their heads and deliver distorted messages. That's what really happened to humanity. I think that answers why all the wars exist, why all the injustice and abuse exist, why the dream that we call hell exists in the world of humans. Hell is nothing but a dream full of lies. Remember, our dream is controlled by what we believe, and what we believe could be truth or could be fiction. The truth leads us to our authenticity, to happiness. Lies lead us to limitations in our lives, to suffering and drama. Whoever believes in truth lives in heaven. Whoever believes in lies, sooner or later, lives in hell. Heaven is all around us, just as hell is all around us. Heaven is a point of view, a state of mind, and so is hell. It's obvious that lies have been running every show in our head. Humans create the lies, and then the lies control the humans. But sooner or later, the truth arrives. And the lies cannot survive the presence of the truth. And I said in the last video, now the last video was messed up, and I may go back and re-record that whole entire reading. I'd have to go back and I'd figure out, yeah, I might need to do that because there's a lot of sound problems in that last video from Fifth Agreement. But I was trying to tell people, don't get your feathers ruffled because you're hearing something a little different than maybe what you have been taught all your life. Centuries ago, people believed that the earth was flat. Some said that elephants were supporting the earth and that made them feel safe. Good. Now we know the earth is flat. Well, now we know the earth isn't flat. The belief that the earth was flat was considered the truth, and almost everybody agreed. But did that make it true? I don't know. A bunch of people still believe the earth's flat. I don't believe either way. It doesn't matter. One of the biggest lies we hear at the present time is nobody's perfect. I would mean it. I don't take either side. I don't care. Anyway, just clarifying that I don't believe whether it's a globe or it's flat. I don't put much thought into it. My feet are on the ground. sometimes anyway. My head might be up in the sky. It's a great excuse for our behavior, and almost everybody agrees, but is it true? Yeah, is it true that nobody's perfect? On the contrary, every human in this world is perfect, but we've been hearing this lie since we were children, and as a consequence, we keep judging ourselves against an image of perfection. We keep searching for perfection, and in our search, we find that everything in the universe is perfect except the humans. The sun is perfect, the stars are perfect, the planets are perfect, but when it comes to the humans, nobody's perfect. The truth is that everything in creation is perfect, including the humans. If we don't have the awareness to see this truth, it's because we are blinded by the lie. You may say, what about someone who is physically disabled? Is that person perfect? Well, according to what you know, that person may be imperfect. But is what you know the truth? Who says that what we call a disability or even a disease isn't perfect? Everything about us is perfect, including any disability or disease that we may have. Someone with a learning difficulty is perfect. Someone born without a finger or an arm or an ear is perfect. Someone with a disease is perfect. Only perfection exists, and that awareness is another important step in our evolution. To say otherwise is not to have the awareness of what we are. And it's not enough to say that we're perfect. We need to believe that we're perfect. We believe ourselves to be imperfect. That lie gathers more lies for support, and together all those lies repress the truth and guide the dream that we're creating for ourselves. Lies are nothing but superstitions, and I can assure you that we live in a world of superstition. But again, are we aware of it? As I say a lot, I like to say perfectly imperfect. And I guess that's giving into the idea that I'm imperfect. But I understand this. My brain can understand this. That the Creator created everything with... If the Creator is perfect and it creates everything, then in the existence of creation is perfection. Now, we, through our perception, may see the good and the bad, based on experience, based on who's looking. Of course, I experience things that seem bad, that seem negative every day in my life. I also experience plenty of positive things. And often I'm thinking I'm flawed. I think probably the biggest sin is just trying to strive for something that you can't really achieve. Like, it's good to strive for it, but trying to reach, like he says, an image of him. The image we have in our brain of what perfect means for us, as in these confined, finite bodies with these finite minds. We don't want to think that, well, maybe things are already the way they're supposed to be. Like, do we make mistakes? Yes. But anyway, there's no way I can explain it. If you don't understand it, I can't explain it enough to, I think he explains it fairly well here. We're going to end that one there. Just a minute. Wait, let me make a mark here so I know where I'm going to start next. And because he gives an example as we go on further about what if someone for the 14th century were to, like, if you woke up in the 14th century or whenever, people would think you're crazy and then probably end up at some point calling you a witch or something because of some of the knowledge you have and you're sharing, just because they don't know any different. And that happens. That happens today. Everybody's scared of things they don't know. And that's natural. The unknown can be scary. But I think when we embrace the unknown, we start to grow. Even me, like, don't know everything. I mean, I was born with the innate things in me that I should be able to discover through my own self introspection as I've gotten older. Just as I believe that most people have pretty much the knowledge within them that they need, but we're constantly seeking it outside ourselves. We're constantly thinking there's something outside of ourselves to look and achieve and to find, when the whole time it was right there in us. Even with the idea of God, that God is something that's outside of me, that it's out here somewhere. It's nowhere around near. I believe that's a falsehood. And now, of course, I'm not talking to people that don't believe in it. I'm saying if you come from the understanding that there is a creator, it's not separate from you. It's not out here somewhere. It's out here and in here all at the same time, and that's something we can't hardly comprehend anyway. So, anyway, believers and non-believers, I appreciate you being here. Thank you for being who you are. That's what makes the world a unique place. And I hope that this made sense to some people. Today I'm going to try to live my dream in a more heavenly place up here in the way I perceive this world. Until next time, Mr. Grey Cloud says to the eternal moment, over and out, ditto.